Awesome. Well, first off, thank you so much for having me on, Ashley. Like, I am so excited to come and chat with you guys. So, my name is Mariah Newsome. I am a double diamond with the company, but this is officially going to be the last month I ever say that because we are going straight VIP this month. Like, I am putting it out there. I joined almost 3 years ago, and this business really found me in a place where I wasn't looking for it. I just knew that there had to be more. I had just gotten married, and me and my husband were long distance the whole time we were dating. And so I was getting married, and I was so excited to finally get to spend time with this, awesome person. And then all of a sudden, life started, and I saw him less when we were married than when we were long distance before. And I was like, God, there's no way that this is the life that you called me to. Like, I'm sure in the Bible it says, a bunch of times abundance and a life of more and all these great things. And that's not what I'm living right now. And so something's got to give. My husband was finishing up school. I was working nonstop. I was, felt like I was constantly failing everywhere. Every time I turned around, I was like, I'm trying to figure out how to be a good wife, but I work all the time. And so I'm tired, but I also have to do the dishes, and I also need to go shopping, but I also have to clean. And then the weekend comes, and I'm like, yes, weekend. And I'm like, just kidding, because I'm trying to catch up on sleep and laundry and shopping and all of this. And I was like, God, there's no way that this is the life that you wanted for me. Like, there's got to be more. And that just happened to be the same point in time that we were running a $20 special, and I saw one post, and I was like the dream distributor that like sees one post and is like, okay, sign me up. Like, I had a bunch of questions, but like joined right then. I was like, okay, this is me. No one had to reach out. I was like, let's go, let's try it. And I was super skeptical. Like, I jumped in real fast, but I was super skeptical. I really wanted to jump in and like give it a chance. But in the back of my mind, I was like, I'm just going to prove that this isn't going to work. Like, I'm going to prove that these people don't actually make the money. I have an insane work ethic. And so if I can't do it, there's no way that this is real. And goodness gracious, how does God work, right? And so I jumped in, and it ended up being this vehicle to take me somewhere bigger than my wildest dreams. And so I promoted really quickly. My first month, I went Ruby. 2 months later, I went Emerald. 3 months later, I went Diamond. And 2 months after that, I went Double Diamond. And so by month 8 in the business, I was Double Diamond, and we've kind of had our standstill there. Double has definitely tested me and my character, and God used it to really refine me. And we're ready for Triple now, but we kind of just took off with it business wise, and it's done so much for me and my husband and our dogs. We have no kids yet, so if you guys have kids, like, you're gonna have to not hop on this train that we ain't there. You'll let you have that. And so we were able to start paying off debt. Like, guys, I grew up in a world where like you accumulated debt. And so you got to a certain point, and then you filed bankruptcy, and the government took it. Like, that's how debt worked. And so someone was like, oh no, we can pay it off. And I'm like, excuse me? We can pay this stuff off? And so we started paying off debt, which was like this foreign concept. We started, we opened a savings account. I'm the first person in my family to ever have a savings account. Like, that's crazy. We were able to just do these little things. We were able to move to the beach in South Carolina. Then we were able to move again to the beach in Florida. And then now we're looking at building a house in the mountains in Georgia. And we were able to do all this and experience life on a different level. I grew up, we was really hard growing up. When I was really little, we had like one box of mac and cheese for me, my dad, and my mom to split to feed us for the entire day. I grew up going to food kitchens instead of grocery stores. Like, I knew how to park a car so that the repo man couldn't get it way before I knew how to actually drive. And to now be in a place where I can pay my bills, I can pay debt. We were able to give my dad a truck. We've been able to do so much more with this business than just change our finances, but absolutely and entirely change our lives. And I know that God is just getting started in my journey and in our team's journey. And goodness gracious, is his abundance not amazing? Because it is only up from here, you guys.
Holy cow, that was so good. It's crazy how everybody's journey is just so different. And so to hear your perspective of things, and like, we all know you're going VIP, like that's insane. So and I'm really excited for you. So my next question is what just kind of explain what you guys have done the last month, because I don't think, like, I told them like how many you enrolled, but like I just want them to hear from you, like not only just you but your team. And I heard your diamond enrolled an insane amount too, and just kind of tell them what you got, what you did, and then we'll go on to like how you did it.
Yeah, last month was insane. If you guys have been around the ringer for a bit, like I want you guys to put a 1 in the chat if this is not your first boom season. Like if you've gone through this once or twice, okay? You guys know what I'm talking about then. In January, did you guys not start experiencing things that we don't see till February? Like typically that's the momentum we're getting now. And it already happened, which is just insane. Like guys, God's doing some big works this month. And so we were able to jump on this momentum train way early. And I don't know, my girls just woke up on the first, like it was a brand new day. And it was amazing. It was something I can only like credit it all back to God because it was such a transition. We went from at the end of December, we were bringing in maybe 100 in volume a day to in January, starting out, we were bringing in between 300 and 1,000 in volume every single day for the entire month. And like, guys, that is just insane. Personally, I had about 65 customers. I signed 10 distributors. Yeah, I had the top customer enroller for the entire company. She was a Ruby starting last month. She's on our team and she signed 156 customers and went all the way from Ruby straight to Diamond. Got both the Emerald bonus for her mom and the Diamond bonus. So momentum was just exploding last month, like everywhere we were looking.
Dang, that's crazy. Oh my gosh. Oh, so like you just heard it first. Like momentum time is here, time to run is here. Like go out there and get whatever like dreams you have for yourself, whatever goals that you have for this year. Now is the time to go and make it happen for yourself. And so my question is, do you primarily work Facebook, Instagram, host to post, product messaging? What's your kind of bread and butter of how you work your business?
Definitely live on Instagram. I live on Facebook. I dabble in Instagram and I dabble in TikTok. And I really wish I was better at both, but Facebook's where it's at for me. It's what it was big when I got started. And so, I mean, I don't do change very well. So I've got what works and I'm like, not sure about trying things out there. And for our entire team, we are super big on host to post. We have been since host to post hit the scene. Like the first month and a half into my business is when host to post really even started for the company. And since then we have run with it and never looked back. And that's how we run our entire systems, from enrollments with customers, enrollments with distributors, adding your network, taking away from your network. Like absolutely everything that we do revolves around host to post.
So basically you, sorry, I was letting someone in, it distracts me. So you basically you teach host to post, you teach the duplication of it, and then you guys go out. Do you guys mainly do like coffee host to post, or is it TFX, or what do you guys do?
So we have a host to post that we use that's generic. It's just weight loss. And I think this has been a huge thing for us. It's very simple. Like if you couldn't fail, how much would you lose? And the options like A, 5 to 10 pounds, B, 15 to 30 pounds, and so on. And I love this because this allows us to give the best customer service possible, because these people are coming to you with absolutely no expectations. They don't know if you're going to tell them they need coffee. They don't know if you're going to tell them that they need gummies or if they need a whole package. They're coming to you open with a goal. And that puts you in the hot seat where you get to do your job and you get to show up as the expert in your field. And so we're able to take these people from this post to then convert them into whatever they need that's going to be the best results, which also helps them with customer retention because we're tailoring every plan. It's not just straight across the board. So, if they love coffee, then maybe I'm from one post, I'll have signed a coffee customer, a gummy customer, and a Thermofite X customer, all from the same post. So we have them post that, and then we just instantly reaffirm like, what's your weight loss goal? Like, what are you pushing for? And we take it from there. Like, okay, what do you struggle with? Like when you've tried to lose weight before, what kind of hangups did you have? Do you love sugar? Or do you love carbs? Like, do you diet or exercise? And if you don't, would you be willing to? Like, can we, switch that up some? Do you have medical conditions? Do you have allergies? Do you love coffee? Like things like that. And once we have those on all those answers, we're able to then recommend what's going to be the best product. And not only is that, making more personalized results and more personalized plans, but then when it comes to order, there's very rarely a doubt in their mind to completely give me their card information to place the order for them, because I'm not just here sending them, hey, this, and this. It's personal. I become a real person. They are really connecting. They know I have their best interest at hand. And so I'm very quick to get their information in hand for me to go right into eSuite to upsell from there, whatever it may be. I place the order right then so that we make sure, it's getting in there instantly, because shopping carts are amazing and they're a fabulous addition that corporate has given us for those who aren't comfortable. But if they, you all know, if you send the shopping link, it's now back in their hands. And my controlness, I want the ball in my court. I want to be in control. I want to get to place these orders. And so we've really just taken that same culture, that same system, and just duplicated it through everyone. And, I wanted to bring my diamond at the beginning of this with signing so many customers, because I know sometimes it's hard to look and see someone who mass enrolls, because it's so easy to attribute that as not duplicatable. But if your systems to mass enroll are duplicatable, that means the results are too. And you can have tons of people on your team continuing that same trend. I mean, last month we had another girl who signed like 10 or 15 customers, another girl who signed like 10 or 20 customers. Like, it's our cultural norm within our team. And a lot of that does, like I said, stems from host to post. And soon as we bring someone into the business, one of the very first steps that they get into, the actual action steps, is host to post. And within their first 2 days, we typically have them get between 10 and 20 host to posts up. And so from their get-go, the moment they get into the business, they're having that win because they're having so many conversations, but they already know, I got 10 up on my first day or my second day. That's what I'm going to do every day going forward. And so culturally within our team, I mean, we typically have people get between 10 and 30 host to post up every single day. And that's team-wide, not just our mass enrollers. Like, that is 100% the core of our unit is host to post.
Wow, that's really, really good. So here's my question. I have a lot of questions right now already popping in the chat and on our thread in my team page, but even just listening to you just now, I'm like, okay, here's my thing. How do you duplicate that within your organization with do you have scripts that you start them out with, or how do you teach them to, because I feel like that's almost like that's like a gift you get, like, by talking about the products and talking to someone. So how do you go about, like, when you get a new DT, how do you go about talking to them or teaching them that method to talking about all the products and helping them and being personable with it?
So we actually have a really unique training system. It's something that I've developed from training, like being trained, and then seeing my upline's ways of training, seeing other teams train. So I just kind of took all those pieces and I was like, you know what, for me, I flourished because I'm red. And so my upline tagged me in a video and was like, here, go do this. And I did part of it. And then I just started selling. Like, you want to talk ignorance on fire, guys? I sold Thermophyte X and told everyone they were getting coffee because I had no idea what I was doing, but I was doing it. And so, but the truth of the matter is, a lot of people aren't going to have that fire to just jump in and be like, okay, let's go. And so I learned that when I was tagging people and having them go do a training unit, again, I put the ball in their court, and I want to be in control because I'm the expert. Whether you've been in for 3 years or 1 day, you have expertise over the person that you're bringing in who's new. And so you get to assume that role. You get to step into that leader. And I am 100% responsible for my girls. Like, whether they're brand new, they've been in a while, like, they're my responsibility. And so I developed a training system that is personal, and it's all done through one-on-one messaging. And we utilize the Boards app now. Before, this was just a resource on our team page, which, if you guys aren't using the Boards app, which hopefully you are, it's insane. You need it. It's game changing. And so our entire team is trained the same way you would get training if you joined me personally, because they're all using my messages. And if I see something change, or if I see a trend come or go, I will go and I'll edit my scripts, and it automatically is in Boards for my team to then duplicate and train the exact same way. And so we start out, like, I just send a message like, yay, you got I'm so excited, you've got started, I'm going to add you to the team pages. And then I explain our training is going to be like a game of catch. I'm going to throw you the ball. you throw it back, and then we'll move on together. And, you know, we get their why down, we go to E-Suite, we get them off text, like the tax hold or whatever. We follow Mark, Pam, and Cindy, and Mike. We subscribe to my YouTube and download all the apps you need. I have a welcome video that's like a 13-minute long, just welcome to the team, a couple of basics. I have them put up a post. I have an intro video on my YouTube that's a little bit longer, going over the basics again, like what is an LC and what is a RC and what's a loyal customer program, and doing all of that. And then once we get through like the base knowledge at that point, we are instantly diving into host to post. And so the way we have our new people do that is the very first thing they're doing with host to post is they're posting on their page, but they're not putting up one of those like eye-catchy posts like, you know, drop the time you see this for an entry. Instead, we're having them put up something along the lines of like, I'm partnering with Mariah, or I'm giving away, either way, $150 is what our team does as a giveaway on Sunday. And in order to get entered, I want you to like the post, copy and paste the status from the comments to your page, and then comment time. And in the comments of that first post they put up, I have them put a giveaway post in the comments for their friends to go and post. And so they put that post up, they report back to me. And so at this point, we're going to move on to messaging for host to post. But while we're doing this, they have that post up on their page. All of their friends are now posting about the giveaway for them. So we're going to go message 20 people with some Hey Girls, and we're going to try to get it post to post that way. And we're going to go on straight into product host to post. And then once they get their 20 messages out, we go back to that original post and we're like, okay, look, 5 more people already posted for you about the giveaway. Now we're going to start growing your network, because we're going to go add all those people wanting your getaway. So now you're going to go message all of those people. And it's instantly giving them this pool of people from the get-go, where they're already learning, how can I add people? Okay, I can do that from host to post. Well, how do I get host to post up? I can message, I can post about it. Well, what if that's not working? I can have people post about the giveaway. And it's just kind of really quickly introducing them to so much. And by having them put that post up initially, they're already going to get typically between 2 and 7 posts without doing anything. So then they can see that it's actually kind of easy to get those 10 up when you're working smarter, not harder. And so it just sets the tone that that's what we're doing. And it's so duplicatable because all of it's in boards. So then when my new DT, I could have someone who joined me yesterday, sign a distributor today, and train them the exact same way. Have their new DT getting those 10 host to post up on their day one, just the same as if they were working with me, who's been in the business for 3 years.
Wow, that's so good. So literally I just did all of this in a docs file. I don't know if you were on the Diamond Above call yesterday, Ashley Pfluger. I literally did like similar, literally what you just said on boards that you do. I did it in the docs, and I was like, man, maybe I should have done it on boards. But no, anyways, yeah, so that was really, really good. So I am going to, I'm going to have, before I lose all these guys' questions, I'm going to read through those quick. So I have one that says, what are your non-negotiables every single day?
I keep it pretty simple. I just do our KPI task list. I mean, that's put into place for a reason. Corporate doesn't waste their time. And so if they're putting something together for you, it's something that you should be utilizing. And what I love about the KPIs, I personally challenge myself to do it multiple times a day. I think it's too easy, and a lot of our team thinks it's too easy, which just goes to say that if you guys are looking at that and you think it's really difficult, that's okay. Like, that's fine. You don't have to think it's easy, but the more you do it, and if you can challenge yourself to be like ridiculously consistent for like 2 weeks and complete it every day for 2 weeks, you're going to wake up and be like, oh my gosh, it's been 1 hour and I have this entire list done. What? Okay, now I can keep going. It's set up so beautifully for us. So that's pretty much what I do. I interact. I host a power hour Monday through Friday. So I've got that full hour there where we pretty much go through the entire KPI list. Host to post is pretty much the only thing that I do all day long. And that's just whenever I feel like it. I work really intentionally. When I started my business, I had this idea that if I wasn't on my phone, I wasn't making money. And I had to be glued to it. I had to respond every time I got a message. I had to everything. And yes, I went double really quickly doing that. But once I hit double, I was so exhausted. And I no longer was loving or having fun with this business. And so I had to learn how to step back and prioritize my time and energy so that I'm able to only work 2 or 3 hours a day and get the same amount of results. And so pretty much just the KPIs. So sending friend requests, interacting, posting in my stories, host to post, follow-ups, things like that. One thing I do every single day is one of my non-negotiables that's not directly on the KPI list. And it's a reflection of my host to post. Because sometimes I'll get 10 up, sometimes I'll get more. Every single day I connect with at least 20 brand new conversations. And a lot of those do come from host to post. But if I get 10 host to post up and I only have one comment, I can't stop because I don't have my 20 yet. And so, there's some days I could get 2 host to post up and have 40 comments. And so cool, I may only do 2 host to post that day, but I get those brand new 20 conversations every single day. And guys, if you're doing that, I know 20 is not a big number. At the end of the month, that means if it's a 30-day month, you just talk to 600 brand new people, brand spanking new people you brought into your network and you started converting and talking to just by doing 20 a day. Like that is huge.
That is so true, man. When you put it in perspective like that, like if even just 20, because 20 is a small number. If you're talking to 20 new people every single day, and then you put it into the big picture and you're just like, wow, I've talked to that many people, and you'll be amazed how many people you will enroll if you make that a goal. That's really, really good. I love that. How do you grow your network? How does she grow her network?
So it's very different now than it was when I got started. So if you were new in the business, if you were like one of my newbies coming and we're going to start growing your network, I would tell you to add people from likes. So just go to your timeline and scroll through. And when you see a non-It Works reps post, go to the people who like it and add all the women, because that way you're making sure that you are adding active accounts. It's not going to be bots or people who haven't logged in 3 years. All of those people are very active. So you're more likely to, one, get accepted, and two, then have them interacting within your network. For me personally, I really only do host to post. I've been right at 5,000 for a while. And so I actually started back in January, really trying to weed through that. And so I make a goal of every week to delete at least 100 friends and add at least 100 friends. And a lot of those still are coming through host to post. I can't tell you the last time I just went and added randomly. But I think that's really important. I know at the beginning, when we were first getting started, we were very focused on growing our network, because you've got to do that. You've got to have the more people to talk to. But once you're in it a little bit longer, I feel like that's one of those tasks that we really put on the back burner. Like, I'm almost at 5,000, like I'm okay. And we get really complacent in our market. And we wonder why all of a sudden our posts aren't getting comments and likes and people aren't buying and no one's replying to our messages. And I think it's because we're just so focused on the market we have. But at the end of the day, fresh fish jump first. And that is especially important if you feel stagnant or stale in your business. You need to mass overhaul. Like I tell my girls all the time, if they come at me complaining about, I feel stuck and I feel like no one's responding, I'm like, okay, well, do nothing today but delete friends. And I want 500 at least gone. And I want you to start going again. And so if you've been here for a while, I want to encourage you guys to kind of rework your network and make that a part of your systems, not only adding friends, but also deleting. And I don't feel like that's something that we talk about very much for Facebook. I know that's more of an Instagram thing. We add and we unfollow. But I think it's just as crucial in Facebook to make sure that you are keeping your network fresh, that you've got those new faces coming in. And I mean, like, if you want to keep going to like breaking them down, if you do 100 a week, I mean, that's like 10, not even 10 a day. And that ends up being like 400 at the end of the month that you've already deleted and 400 new people you're bringing in. So it's not a crazy task to be doing. But if you start doing that by the end of the year, I mean, I'm not going to try to do that math, like what, 4,800 new friends. So you pretty much have the end of the year a brand new Facebook's list, like just by doing 100 a week. So I think that answers that question. I totally zigzagged off of it.
That was really good. I have maxed out my friends list too, and I hate when I get I can't add you or something. And I'm like, sorry. But yes, that's really, really good. Someone said, can you share the boards or at least a sample of it?
Yeah, if you want to send me your email when we're done, Ashley, I can
Okay.
add you to it, and
Yeah,
then you
I'll do
can use it for your team,
that. Okay,
or
awesome.
like as an inspiration for them.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Are you a huge follow-up person? I feel the people who follow up more sign more.
I have a love-hate relationship with follow-ups. Like, I know they're so very important, and like the statistics prove that. I'm not a math person, but at the end of the day, if you are like 90% more likely to sign someone up if you keep like bugging them, then I'm gonna say, okay. At this point, I go into like, I am now employee mindset in the sense of this is my job, so no negativity affects me, because I know that's one of our big fears with follow-ups is I'm going to bother them to the point where they are mean to me, or they say leave me alone or something, or they unfriend me or they block me or whatever that is. And so I've gotten with follow-ups, I just go into that mindset of this is my job. Like, I'm sorry, I get emails all the time of people that I really don't want to keep hearing from. Like, I accidentally added that to my cart. Okay, Victoria's Secret, leave me alone. But I don't do anything about it. They keep coming in, and guess what? Eventually I'm gonna buy it anyway. And you just kind of got to look at it that way. I actually, it's such a funny little like mind thing. I read Be Obsessed or Be Average by Grant Cardone, and he talks about follow-ups in that book. He does a whole thing about it. And after I read that book, I subscribed to his email newsletter because I was like, oh, so much goodness, right? And in his book, he talks about like he follows up, and like his whole like public team and all were like, you're doing too much. So he was like, cool, we're gonna up it. Well, I like literally get between 4 and like 10 emails from Grant Cardone's newsletter every single day. And it's the most obnoxious thing ever. But I've not unsubscribed because every time I get that email, I just remember it's just a quick reminder like, oh, you could be doing more. Like, you could be doing more. Even if they want to talk bad about you, they're going to know your name. You could be doing more. And so, follow-ups, I do very regularly. I do them daily, weekly, monthly. I do it all, even though I absolutely hate it. I think one of the big things I've implemented this year that has made a big difference with follow-ups is I do next day follow-ups. So part of my power hour, every morning we hop on and we take time to just scroll back to yesterday's conversations in Messenger and reply to every single one of them. And it's such a simple thing. It literally takes 5 or 10 minutes, but there's so often, right, that we're like doing something and then the baby cries or the dog has to go out or you get a phone call and then you sit it back down and you forget exactly what you were doing. Our network's the exact same way. They're busy people and they just forget a lot. And so I keep it like ridiculously simple. And I'll just say, hey girl, did you have a chance to read my last message? And I can't like even express how many conversations this has restarted for me. This has made a huge difference. And then if they reply and I send them like my next message and they don't reply, then tomorrow I'm gonna do the same thing. Okay, hey girls, you read that message. And I've signed so many customers that way that before would have died off because they didn't reply to my first message. And that has been like huge for me. Every Friday, I go back through and I'll follow up on my host to post and go back through my host to post to everyone who's commented. And then month end is month end, and I'm going to follow up with whoever I can possibly get my hands on.
Dude, that is so good. I do the same, but I'm also the same way. I feel like we've got to give not even just the people that we talk to grace, because I feel like some, especially if you're a newbie, like you get like if they don't respond back to you after they've read it, I feel like sometimes you can get in your head. Even like being in the business 5 years, I can still get in my head about it. But like then I think about like my life, like there's a million times a day where I get distracted doing something else. It's just it's my life. And my team knows it too. They have to like text me a question mark so I'll answer because sometimes I just forget. And so I think that's genius to make sure that you go back the next day and just talk to those 20 people that you got in contact with or however many you message that day and just be like, hey, did you get busy? Because I don't know how many times I've done that and people are like, oh my gosh, yes, I'm so sorry. And then they order. So that is so good.
I love doing that also because it really holds me accountable. Because if I want to like itch and complain that I didn't have an enrollment yesterday, I can best believe when I go and look and do those follow-ups, I don't have that many to do. But if I had 4 enrollments yesterday, then you best believe it's going to probably take me 10 or 15 minutes to go back through those conversations. So it's a huge like self accountability tool for me as well.
Wow, so good. Wow. one of my girls is like blowing up our chat. Like, that was so good. Let's see. What else do I got? I'm going to switch over to DTs because it looks like the other questions I have are all IGs and DTs and how to grow your network. And then there's one other, well, here, I'll answer this one. I'll ask this one first. Someone asked, how do you get over your fear of host to post?
Oh my gosh, this is a great question. Okay, so when I got started, like I said, host to post didn't enter the business until probably like, I think it was like my first month, but like towards the end of it. Like I went Ruby mostly without host to post and then just like pushed the edge with it. And I hated it. If you were like, what's the worst task that you just like doesn't get results? Like it's just the worst thing to do. And I'd be like, host to post, screw that crap. But at the same time, I'm disciplined to know that if it works for someone else, it's probably going to work for me. And if it's not, it's probably my fault. Like I'm probably doing it wrong. And so I stuck with it. And after getting consistent, I think that's the biggest thing. Once I got consistent with it, I tricked my mind into loving it. I don't know if you guys have read the book. If not, you should. But like how to eat the frog or eat the frog. I can't think of who it's by. And he talks about in that book, like how you eat a frog, one bite at a time, and you do the worst bite first. And so for me, host to post was the worst bite. It was a thing in my daily tasks I hated. And by doing it first, it got it done. It was then, and when I got it done first, all of a sudden I realized the other tasks I had to do were easier. Like I need to go add friends, but like I could just do that from the host to post. And I need a message for distributors, but I can do that with my host to post. And I need to interact, but I can do that with my host to post. And all of a sudden I saw, because it was the first thing I did, that it could trickle into every aspect of my business and change everything. And the moment I saw that, the red in me took over and I was like, you know what? I love host to post. And I literally, when I was writing my affirmations and my journaling and stuff, I would write that out. I would say, I love host to post. Host to post is my favorite. My host to posts are blowing up. And when you do that enough, it becomes reality. And now you can ask me, like, if I take a day off, I still have 10 host to post up for the day because I just can't stop because I love doing it. And so I would say if you have a fear of it, if you feel overwhelmed by it, if you're, you're still new and you're like, that's, pushing me outside my comfort zone because of asking, because that was a big thing with me is I don't like cold messaging. I get so irritated if someone cold messages me. And if that's your style, there's definitely nothing wrong with that because you can be super successful doing it. But for me and my personality, that wasn't going to jive with me. And so I was really resistant to host to post at the beginning because I felt like I was cold messaging. I felt like I was just bugging people. And that's really when I kind of adapted my host to post methods. So personally, I do not message for host to post. I have my newbies message, but that's just because we got to get that ball rolling. And if it comes down to it and nothing's happening, I will message. But what I do is I just do my posting. And so I'll put up my interaction post, like drop the time you see this post for a chance to enter or whatever. And have everyone go post, whether it be a business post or a product host post or whatever. And then 2 days later, like clockwork, from their original post, I have them post again. I gave everyone 2 entries to my giveaway. That second post, they're now going to post about my giveaway. And so I don't have to message anyone because I just tapped this person's audience for their host to post for their product. Now I'm going to go tap it for their people who want this entry. So I'm still growing my network because I got a bunch of people to add. But the thing about giveaways, guys, like a lot of teams, we give away cash. So if someone wants cash, guess what else they need? They need this business. They just don't know it yet. So every single person who posts for me is now my potential distributors. Whether they know it or not, they need money. I can give them money. And so all of a sudden, I've used this system to transform everything. It touches every aspect of my business. And I can do it in just like an hour a day and change everything. And so when you start seeing the power and respect host to post for what it can really do for you, like there's nothing to be scared of unless you're scared of success. And that's a whole nother thing you got to work out inside of you because it can literally be the biggest game changer that just could explode your business in a whole nother direction. And like Shannon, I don't know who you are, but you're hyping me up with your excitement over here, girl. I'm just like watching it, like keep going.
Oh my God, the one that's blowing up the chat. Anyways, no, I am hold on. Kaylin, no. Sorry, my son's knocking at my door because I locked it, because otherwise he'll be in here in 5 seconds flat. That was like, I literally threw up my hands in the air when you said there's nothing to be scared about host to post unless you're scared of being successful. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so good. Anyways, so let's flip over, because I still want to, we've been talking for a while and I want to make sure we get this in. Let's flip over to distributors, because not only are you like a mass LC enroller, you are mass enrolling DTs. So where's your bread and butter with DTs? Is it host to post still, or is it you do that on IG, or how do you kind of get distributors? Where do you see the most success in that, and how do you do it? I'll just do all of it so you can just go.
Okay, I love it. I remember when I got started and I started seeing top enrollers, and it was very black and white. You had your top customer enrollers and you had your top distributor enrollers. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do both, because it's not something I really saw. And it was not easy. And if you guys struggle with assigning distributors, I want to say that that's okay. Like, that's very normal. If you sign customers, it's because you're selling a product. It's easy to believe in a product when you can see results. When you sign distributors, you have to believe and sell yourself. You have to sell your ability to help someone succeed. And that's way harder to believe and come by than just selling a product with before and after. And so it's okay if you guys struggle with that, but you got to stop saying that you struggle with that. Like, that's no longer in your vocabulary. From now on, you're a mass distributor signer and a mass customer signer. Because very easily, I could have done either or. Early in my business, that's what I would do. I would be like, I'm a mass enroller, I sign customers, and I would sign a ton. And then I'd be like, I'm a mass enroller, I sign distributors. And I think my biggest month was like 47 distributors in 1 month. But I only had like 5 or 6 customers. And I was like, crap, no, I need customers. And so you can do both. You can have both. And I do use host to post to do that. And I will host a post for distributors if there's a promo, but that's it. And I won't do it past the first week of the month. And when I'm doing that, I'm still going to be doing my regular host to post. So my 10 that I get up minimum, all those are going to be products. If I still feel like going, then I'll do some distributor ones as well. Or if I've already had someone post for me about customers, I'll let them do a distributor host to post, just because let's see what else they got in their market. But where my thing comes in, every single person who has joined my team has already hosted a post for me once, because at the end of the month, last month, I got to work really hard. I got my host to post up. That was a success for last month because I got all my customers. This month, all my distributors are coming from last month's host to post, and I'm going to go and I'm going to start messaging every single person who posted for me and just thank them again. Like, thank you so much for putting that post up. You helped me hit my goal. Like, girl, have you ever thought about doing this? I think you would be amazing. And you're just going to be doing that same thing you did for me. And then so many people are like, okay, well, what is that? Because guys, like I said, we're doing a cash giveaway. These people need the business, but 1, they don't know it's an option, or 2, they don't think it's an option for them. They automatically go ahead, disqualify themselves. This isn't a thing for me. Like, that was me when I got started. I was like, yeah, they can do it, but it's probably not a me thing. But because someone took the time to talk with me through it, here I am. And I, went double diamond in 8 months. I joined the very end of a month, and like the 26th or 27th, and I brought in like 600 in volume by like the 30th. Like, you don't know who you're going to sign, and you can't sign them if you're not taking the time to, throw it out there and ask. And so I go through all of my host to post from last month, and I typically try to do this before the 15th. I focus my first week of the month my focus is distributors, and then training my team and my new distributors, because if I can train those new distributors at the beginning of the month, when I'm at the end of the month and I'm pushing for my promotion, they already got 3 weeks in. They're no longer a brand new person who's floundering and needing help. They're someone who's ready and working and has a fundamental foundation built. So they're pushing with me instead of me, we don't want to say that, but like when we're pushing for a goal and like you have a new DT and it's just like such a burden to have to train them. Like, I want my customers, like, I'm trying to get this volume, like, please just hold on. We can train on the 1st. And so I will still sign distributors at the end of the month, but I do try to do a lot of it more at the beginning. One, that's going to give them their best chance to hit a promotion that month. If I sign them at the very end, of course they still can. I've seen some crazy things happen, but that's going to be a crazy thing. It's not going to be the majority. But if you sign them at the beginning, there's tons of people who can go Ruby in 30 days. There's tons of people who can go Ruby in 20 days. but we got to get them in first. And so I just messaged them. And then my conversation with distributors is really basic, and it's very robotic almost. Like I don't do it too personalized like I do with customers, where I'm like trying to feel it out. I think with distributors, I know what I have to offer, and either you're going to see that and you're going to go with me, or it's not the right time and you'll be back, because I know what I have to offer. And I'm not going to beg anyone. I'm not going to convince anyone. I'm not going to wait for anyone. My train's leaving whether you hop on or not. And I go into all the conversations with that. And so one thing, like that's been a big shift in my business, because of course at the beginning I wanted everyone, like, you want to join? Okay. You want to join? Okay. But then I was exhausting myself trying to train people who really didn't even know what they wanted, or knew what a dream was, or knew what this business can do, and didn't have the work ethic that I needed or I had. I work at a high pace. My team works at a high pace. And yes, I do slow down when people need that. Like there's some people who aren't going to jump and run. That's okay. As a leader, we've got to be able to recognize that, and we've got to be able to match that, their pace. I've got people on my team who come to me all the time like, oh my gosh, just thank you so much for not giving up on me. Thank you so much for working with me. In my mind, I'm like, you've been in for 6 months and we're still trying to learn host to post. But yeah, okay, we're still here. Like we're still going. You know, you never know. That's like my diamond who just went from Ruby to diamond in 1 month. It was her 6th month in the business. She's been Ruby for 6 months, not going anywhere. And I just wanted to shake her. And then one day it clicked. I'm not going to take someone's click moment away. I will always, always, always believe in them. I will always invest in them. But when I am looking for people, I'm looking for me in people. Because if I'm just bringing in every Sally, Joe, and Bob, I'm exhausted. I'm not having the time I need for my business. I'm not being fulfilled. I feel like I'm pulling these weights behind me. But if I'm connecting, looking, and finding those people who are going to embody me, embody my beliefs, my why, my dreams, then we're rocking. Then we have somewhere to go. And I don't even remember all the question. I don't know if that answered it or not.
No, you did. You answered all of the DT bases. I think. Do you guys have any more questions about that? I just have to say something on that part where you said that you don't want to take away their click moment. I was that girl. Like, do you know Carrie Young? She's my upline. She's my friend. She's the one that enrolled me. She literally put me as a 400 box. Like she was done. She was like, I'm about to take you off my chart. And I watched a Zoom. That's why Zooms are just so important to get on. I watched a Zoom and host to post clicked, because I was just like you in the beginning. I was like, I'm not doing it. I hate it. It sounds disgusting. I don't understand it. Not doing it. And then all of a sudden one person explained it, clicked, changed my whole life completely. So it's serious. It literally, you can never take a click moment away from them, and you always have to meet them where they're at. And oh wow, you're genius. You're so good with VIP. I'm like, holy cow, this woman's amazing. I'll wait and see if they have any other questions, but I want to ask you, because you've already mentioned 2 books in just this Zoom alone. What do you do for personal development? What's kind of is that like a non-negotiable for you? Do you have any suggestions? Especially with coming from the season that we were in to the push season that we're in now, the momentum and all that stuff. So I just want to hear your thoughts on that, because I know it's individualized, but I just want to hear what you do.
Yeah, definitely. So I was that person. I was like, personal development, what? I'm a pretty developed person. Like, I think I'm good. And so I'm okay. And something like I love reading. I have a very strong faith. And so I love reading like Christian books that are like that. I didn't realize that was personal development. But I knew how to develop myself spiritually, but like business wise, I was like, it's boring. It's really, I'm fine. I'm good. I'll hop on Zooms. It's fine. We'll be good. And it's not something I really did. And last year was brutal. Like I know a lot of us felt that with COVID hitting, and like life really shifted. And me and my husband went through the ringer. Like it was so rough back in November. We were actually homeless for about 4 weeks. We were living in a tent, and it was really hard. And I vowed to myself then that I wasn't going to let this happen again. I wasn't going to let things get this low. And I didn't know what was going to come from it. We fought our way back. We clawed our way back. We were staying, you know, with my husband's cousin in like a duplex. So we've got a place now, like things are looking up. And I was like, okay, but this isn't what I want. This is a great place. God's got us here for a reason, but this isn't what I want. So how do I get from this place of desolation, this place where I really don't want to live anymore? I don't want to wake up and I don't want to have to figure this out. I don't want to fight anymore. I don't want to feel this way. I don't want to feel alone. How do I get from here to where I want to be? How do I get to VIP when I'm sitting here as a diamond in a tent trying to figure out how I'm going to do a training? Like, how can I do this? And that's really where personal development clicked. I went to bed on the 31st and I was terrified all December. Last year, I lost diamond in December. And so I went into January as an emerald. It's the first time I had lost diamond. I lost double two or 3 months after hitting it. And I was so upset going into conference as an emerald. I was like, my first conference, I was an emerald. Are you kidding me? I just went through a year of work. I went double and now I'm back where I started. I have nothing to show for it. That's why I started last year. And then it was just thing after thing after thing. We got back to double, we lost it, and it was just rough. I was so scared all December. I was like, I'm going to lose diamond. Like, it's just going to happen. Like, with everything going on, like, there's no way I can do this. And we maintained diamond. And I went to bed on the 31st. And I said, tomorrow, I'm not going to wake up the same person. I'm just not. I don't care what it takes. I'm not going to sleep till noon. I'm going to host those trainings I don't want to do. I'm going to pour into myself. I'm going to figure this out because God's got a bigger calling in my life than I'm walking in now. And so I went to bed and I woke up on the 1st and I was a different person. I didn't have the weight of the depression and the anxiety I had before. I went from having anxiety attacks almost every day to very rarely. And I prioritized me. I woke up on the 1st and I was like, I've got to be who I am called to be before my team can be who they got to be, before my business can go where it wants to go, before my marriage is as healthy as it can be, before our finances are great, before we have investments, before our debt's paid. I have to be me, walking in my calling. And how are we going to get there? And so I started figuring out what it took for me to be me first. And it's ebbed and flowed. It's gone all over the place. And so personal development has become my lifeline because you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't get there if you are empty first. You want this team and you want to be inspiring and you want to be asked to speak on a Zoom and speak and be heard and it have value. Well, I didn't wake up and just become this person. Like, it wasn't like if you would have asked on December 31st me to speak, this is not the person who would have shown up. But because I decided to prioritize me every day, no matter how much it sucks, no matter how bad the night was, no matter what's going on in life, if we're on the road, if we're not, if I prioritize me, whatever it looks like, we could get through it. I could be the person I got to be. And when I started becoming the person I had to be, I started doing the personal development. For me, it's a whole long list of things. I wake up and I do skincare. Okay. I have never in my entire 24 years of life touched a skincare product until December or January 1st. I do skincare every single day. I got a lash serum. Like, if you guys could see these bad boys, oh my Lord, I don't even need extensions now. Like, I look hot. Okay. I started taking care of myself first thing. I grab my AirPods. I get them for my husband. I put those bad boys in. I go in the bathroom. I do my skincare and I listen to my Bible. Whatever that may be. Like, last month I did Proverbs. This month I'm doing Psalms. I listen to a Devo, do my skincare, have my me time. I bought an alarm clock. I don't do mornings at all, but I got one of these fancy alarm clocks for $10 from Five Below. And so it lights up every like couple minutes for like 30 minutes before the alarm goes off. So it's supposed to like make your brain, I don't know, think that it's okay to get up. It's supposed to work with the inner cadence. But let me tell you though, I went and I spent that money and it's the only thing that's done got me up in the mornings. Sometimes it's just the little things of giving yourself the best chance you can. So I do my personal development. I come out here, I make my coffee because I am dead to the world without that keto coffee, guys. It's helped me lose in the past 3 months. I've been doing that in our gummies now, and I'm down almost 20 pounds from my depression weight. Like, we are getting there in this year. And so I make my coffee, I grab my Devo, and I go to the beach. We live about 5 minutes from the beach. So that's my safe space. That is my personal development. It's become the beach. So I go and I sit there, I drink my coffee in the freezing cold when it's like 40 degrees and the wind's ripping and no one else is out here, okay? I'm sitting there, I'm doing my time, I'm connecting with God. So I do my journal or my personal development, and then I listen to a book. about 15 to 20 minutes. I'm finishing up my 3rd book of the year. And it is February 4th. And if you would have told me I'd be saying that a couple years ago, I would be like, not me. I don't like to read. But I take that time and I pour into myself, and I don't just read to read. Like, what do I need? Right now, I need mental health. I need to figure out how to change the way I think. So every book I have is about that. I just finished up Gorilla Mindset. Absolutely insane book about taking control of your brain, and so fundamental in how to do it. And I come home typically about 10, I'll work out, take a shower. At 11, that's when I open my business. But until then, until my power hour, it's me time. And my team, it's so cool. My team like respects that. Like, they don't need me. It's amazing. You can ask some of my girls, and they just know it's just a stigma of like, you don't need me till 11. They don't even message me, and they don't feel like they're in lack. They don't feel like, crap, I need something that Mariah's not available. No, they just wait till 11, and at 11, business is open and things are going and we work all day. But that gives me all that time. If it's a day I got to sleep in, I sleep in, and I may have to move things around. And so personal development for me has become a lifestyle instead of a task. It's, what do I need? I need coffee. I need skincare. I need fresh air. I need my reading. Maybe I need to journal today. I've started an affirmation or like a mantra. I'm not even trying to remember for you guys. I'm still writing it down, but it's something along the lines of like, I love me. I am abundantly worthy of all God has for me. Like, I feel good. I feel God. I'm walking in his path for my life. If he's in me and I'm in him, I'm not alone. And I say this every morning, along with saying I'm triple diamond VIP and we are keep going. And I say it every morning. And what I love about this business and just life in general is we're giving the opportunity, especially in this business, because we're taught to. So many people wake up and they go through the day, but we get to wake up and then we get to define who we're going to be that day. And so that means that when you go to bed in anxiety and you go to bed in fear and you have the nightmares and you have the bad days and you have the fights and you have all this, when you wake up, you get to define who you're going to be that day. You don't have to be that person. You don't have to carry it into the next day. You get just to wake up and be like, you know what? Today, I'm going to be the person God called me to. Today, I'm going to be the leader. Today, I'm going to love myself. Today, I'm going to respect myself. Today, I'm going to be confident. Today, I'm going to feel beautiful. Today, I'm going to work my business. Today, I'm going to show up like a CEO. Today, I'm going to be me and the best version. And you get to define it. You don't have to be what the world says you are. You don't have to be what the fear and the anxiety says you are. You get to wake up and define it. And I think when you can connect to that core of just taking control, then that can develop personal development from just a task to the thing that can change who you are, not just your business.
Dang, that was good. I have one more question for you, but I feel like you just like covered it just in that question. My last question always to anybody is, what is one thing that you could tell your newbie self, or like just a newbie getting started in this business after being in the business for 3 years and going through the ups and downs and all of the things with this? What is your biggest advice out of everything?
I would just say to hold on. Like, you're going to have those down moments. It's going to be really hard and it's going to be really scary. And there's going to be more times than not that you doubt yourself. I don't care how long you've been in it. I don't care if you're Stephanie Dunn. You know, there's days she wakes up and doubts her ability. Okay. There's no difference between her and you. You wake up and you doubt yourself. You have fears. You're going to lose rank. You're going to fall. You're going to have people quit. You're going to have people be mean, but don't lose hope. God doesn't bring you to something just to bring you to it. Whether you're here for a life or you're here for a season, trust that and trust his guidance. Trust that this opportunity was brought to you for a reason. It's going to shape who you become. It can change everything, or it can just change you and mold you and then let you go. But this is here for a reason. You don't stumble upon it. God opens the doors of abundance, of light, of life, of growth. And all we got to do is walk through it. So keep walking.
Dang, that was so good. Oh my gosh. I'm so thankful that you got on tonight and took time out of your night to pour into us. And I just really, really appreciate it. Something we do at the end of all of our team Zooms is pray. So I was wondering if Shannon, if you can you unmute yourself and pray for us? She's always my girl to go to. So
yeah, if I can get myself together.